Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to go over the cost of parts on the Lincoln MKZ ranging from 2013 to 2016. Some of these parts are common failure or wear points to this particular vehicle. Hit that subscribe button and show your support to my channel. My channel has grown a lot and it's all thanks to you guys. Check out the Real Lincoln MKZ Facebook enthusiast group to connect with other Lincoln MKZ owners. Let's get right to the video. I prefer to shop on Rock Auto when I'm looking for parts because they have a variety of options from aftermarket to OEM spec parts. There are other websites too with similar prices, so make sure to shop around and see what deal you think is best for you. So let me start off with spark plugs. These spark plugs prices are similar for all the engines on the MKZ. As you can see, there are a lot of spark plug options here. I personally always go for the Iridium Motorcraft ones. They're about $11 a piece, which is pretty reasonable, and they last a long time. I've tried other low quality ones before and haven't had good luck with them, so these are the ones that I recommend. I change my spark plugs every 100 to 150,000 kilometers, but if you buy cheaper ones, you will have to replace them sooner. So I recommend opting for the Motorcraft ones. They are a little bit expensive at $11.14, but they're worth it in the long run. Taking a look at air filters for the hybrid model, I find I like the decent mid-grade filters. I change them every 30,000 kilometers or so. These options are for the hybrid, but the prices are very similar to the 2-liter turbo and 3.7-liter V6 engines. This filter you're looking at right now is the OEM spec Motorcraft one. I never tried these out before, but this is the OEM spec, so if that's what you want, it's about $17. Now let's talk about the water pump on the 3.7-liter V6 engine. This is a common failure for this otherwise very reliable engine. The part itself is not that expensive. It's the labor for the job, which is a lot, and it can cost you over $1,000. I would go for the Motorcraft ones. Again, they're OEM spec, which is the ones you want to get here. It's about $128. According to owners I've talked to, the water pump tends to fail on these after 100,000 miles. There is one owner in the Facebook group who has over 300,000 miles on the original pump, and his secret is religiously maintaining the car when it comes to coolant changes. Let's see how much it costs to replace the turbo on the 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder engine. This is not that common of a failure for this engine, but if you're planning to keep this for a while, you may encounter turbo issues. So here we have a couple of turbo options. The OEM Ford is about $1,400 Canadian, which is a crazy amount of money. This is where I would shop for an aftermarket option because sometimes the aftermarket turbos have upgraded parts to them, which can be better for the long run. This particular turbo is about $759, which is not so bad. The main thing with turbo longevity is keeping the oil clean, properly warming up the car before acceleration, and properly cooling the car before shutting it off. There are a lot of videos online on turbo maintenance, so go check them out. So the next item that I want to talk about is the suspension. Everyone is curious about this, so here we go. So these MKZs have electronically controlled suspension. So these are on the pricier side of things. So here we have the front right suspension. As you can see, it's $200 a piece, and for some reason the front left suspension is $326 a piece, which is crazy expensive for suspension. There's not that much aftermarket options, but for the rear there are these aftermarket R-Knot suspension, but I'm not sure if these are any good because it says that they are not adjustable dampening, which is kind of what you need here. But if you don't want to switch between normal, comfort, or sport mode, then I guess this can be an option. And they're $237 a piece. And this is for the rears only, not the front. The OEM rear shocks are $285 a piece, which again is very expensive, especially since you'll have to replace both left and right at once. These shocks are shockingly expensive, but I personally would take this expensive route because I want my Lincoln to ride like a Lincoln at the end of the day. But for those who don't want to take the expensive route, go to the Ford Fusion section and see the options for regular shocks and struts. It's about a fraction of the price, but the only thing is it's not electronically controlled, like the ones we find in the Lincoln MKZ. There's a couple of MKZ owners who went this route and they said it's way cheaper and the ride difference is not that noticeable. But apparently you will get an error message if you replace the shocks with regular shocks, in which you will need to eliminate the adaptive damper settings using ForScan. But man, these prices are so cheap. I'm very tempted to take this route if my shocks fail, but we'll see. In the meantime, if anyone has gone this route, chime in the comments section and help people out. Let's talk about the hybrid battery pack now. All the hybrid owners are afraid of the cost of replacing the hybrid battery, but honestly, the price of this battery is not that bad compared to vehicles such as the Hyundai Sonata or the BMW 7 Series Active Hybrid. This here is a remanufactured battery, so it has upgraded parts and claimed to provide better performance than OEM. This one is $2,350 and it comes with an 18-month warranty. Here's another website that specializes in hybrid batteries, and they are selling the battery for this Lincoln MKZ for $1,949, which is actually pretty good. I know it says Ford Fusion here, but the battery pack is all the same for Lincolns as well. Also, the battery is the same from 2013 to 2020 hybrid models, so you can replace a battery on a 2015 hybrid with a battery from a donor 2018 vehicle. The best thing about this hybrid battery is that it's not that difficult to source one. It's pretty much available everywhere. Not everywhere, but you know what I mean. Whereas some high voltage batteries, you can't even find them anywhere, which will mean that you'll have to eventually get rid of your vehicle. You may also look on eBay for used batteries, which may be the better deal. They are cheaper compared to buying a brand new remanufactured one. Would I dump my Lincoln MKZ if the battery fails? Absolutely not. I will definitely get another battery pack, because if the original battery lasted this long in my car, I'm sure if I put a newer one in, it will give the same amount of service. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments down below. So brake pads and rotors. Let's start with the rotors. I've got my rear rotors and brake pads replaced in 2021 for $400, including parts and labor, which I thought was a very good price. The rotors you see here, it's ranging from $21 to $145, which is pretty decent. I would select something in the middle, not too cheap, not too expensive. You also have the brake pad and rotor kits here, which is probably something I would choose. This particular one is for the rears. It includes 2 rotors and 2 brake pads for $125, which is a really good deal. You can also get 4 rotors, 4 brake pads for under $500. If you own the hybrid, the front brakes don't wear out as fast as the rears, so your main concern would be the rear. Another something to look out for are the ABS sensors. Not that common of a failure, but it does still happen. I've replaced these on my 2015 and I've made a how-to video on it, which I'll leave a link in the description below. Always go for the Motorcraft ones on this. Finally, I want to talk about something that is currently affecting my car as well, and that is the heated and cooled seats up front. So they're not currently working, and this is a common failure point with these vehicles. The connections sometimes overheat and melt, so you'll have to replace the pigtail connection, which is about $53 here, as you can see here. But sometimes it's not the pigtail connection. It's actually the control module itself. That can run anywhere between $150 to $400 depending on if you are buying new or used, but in most situations it's not the module and it's the pigtail connection that goes bad. This module and connection is located underneath the front passenger seat, so make sure to check it out and see where the problem is before ordering either the pigtail connection or the module. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be making a video for the 2017 to 2020 models, so stay tuned. If you have any questions, make sure to join the Real Lincoln MKZ Facebook enthusiast group or ask in the comment section below. See you all next time.